Microfinance, a gateway to a better future for the poor.
Poverty. This is an immense issue that has moved our society for hundreds of years.
As you can see in these photos, there are multiple similarities between the poverty of the Industrial Revolution and today.
The standard of living between the poor of the Industrial Revolution and the poor of now has not changed at all, if not gone down.
The living conditions of the very poor are horrendous. They are exposed to illness and disease with virtually no health care. In this graph, you can see in South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa, the child mortality rates are mostly due to poverty and hunger.
This graph shows the percentage of people in each country living on less than $1 a day. Countries such as India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Nigeria, and Chad are in a financial crisis. 40 to 80% of their population is living on about 1/7 of the salary of an average maid in India.
In the Industrial Revolution, the rich got richer and the poor got poorer. This caused a vicious rotation of poverty because the poor can't get out of their poverty. This is because they cannot receive education because of their lack of money, and so they cannot get jobs, and the same thing happens to their children, and so on. However, there is a solution.
Microfinance is an idea whose time has come. Kofi Annan. This is a video that will explain microfinance and microloans to you.
Around the world, billions of people are living without access to the financial services that many of us take for granted. Without access to loans, savings accounts, insurance, and fund transfers, the obstacles to overcoming poverty or attaining financial stability can be insurmountable. There's a movement underway to provide better financial services to people that banks don't serve. These services are collectively called microfinance. One of the most powerful facets of microfinance is microcredit, or small loans. Microfinance institutions in many countries offer loans of a few $100s at a time to people in need. Sometimes, this is all it takes to help a person become profitably self-employed. Their business can provide valuable goods and services to their community, and proceeds from their business can support them and their family, and allow them to pay back their loan. Loans are also sometimes used for housing, education, or to create other opportunities for people to improve their lives. Microfinance institutions can also provide savings accounts and insurance to their clients, allowing them to manage risk more effectively. If bad weather, illness, or other unforeseen events disrupt a client's business, savings or insurance can help keep their livelihood intact.
In developing nations, many people live in poverty. These people are not given the opportunities that can help them escape the cycle of poverty. This graph shows the percentage of households in each country that can get loans. As you can see, in countries in South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa, most of the percentages of households that can get loans is less than 40%.
In these poorer nations, many people are not given loans by big banks. The Grameen Bank in Bangladesh started giving tiny loans to the very poor.
Many people have ideas that could potentially fuel million-dollar companies. However, in some cases, their talent and ideas are suppressed by poverty. Because they are poor, many companies and banks think that they are going to be a liability and are going to lose money. However, in many cases, they can bring money and be a large asset.
In microfinance, everyone wins. This is an escape route for the poor. It is good because there is not too much pressure on their shoulders since what they are loaned is a relatively small amount. Also, the banks have profit from the small amount of interest that they charge. This profit provides an incentive for the banks to continue to give out these microloans.
Also, microfinance is better than charity, because instead of handing the poor money, which will eventually run out, the banks are loaning them money. By doing this, the banks are urging them to invest this money in something that will grow and return profit so that they have a steady flow of income. So instead of giving the poor the answers, the banks are teaching them how to find the answers.
Many governments are starting to recognize microfinance as an excellent and reliable way for many of the poor to overcome their poverty. Recently, the government of the United States donated $100 million to the microfinance group in South Asia and $50 million to the microfinance program in sub-Saharan Africa, and the amount of loans are continuing to grow.
Microfinance in today's world can connect to the industrialization and the Industrial Revolution because in both, the objective and outcome are very much alike. Both things elevated people to a better class of living. Before the Industrial Revolution, most people lived in poor living conditions, much like the poor today. However, through industrialization, some people were uplifted and began to live in the growing middle class. The objective of microloans is to do the very same thing with the poor of today, to elevate them to a higher standard of living, much like the industrialization did in the Industrial Revolution.
Microfinance is an idea with immense potential. Many people in the past have overcome the adversities of poverty through minuscule loans that helped them start small companies that in time returned ample profits. And through extended investment in this project, this may occur in the lives of many more people. Microfinancing is the gateway to a better future for those who seem to have none.